Hey there, you gorgeous people. I hope that you are having a great day. It is so lovely to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. This video was inspired by so many questions I have received from so many of you very recently asking if I could discuss makeup for mature skin, products that I recommend, and tips and tricks and things like that. Specifically, Kitty Blackwood had requested this in a video very recently. And so I am thrilled to be able to put this together for you based on things that I have learned from having done my own mom's makeup in the past, several other older ladies that have asked me to do their makeup in the past. There's just tips and tricks I'll be sharing with you in today's video, as well as some really great products that you can try that will not cost a lot. So I hope that you will find this helpful. First things first, before you put any makeup on your face, this is for every age, not just for mature skin. It's always important to apply your skincare because if your foundation isn't great, then anything you put on top of it isn't going to be great. I mean, think about it. If you're building a house and you don't have a level, solid foundation, then your house isn't going to stand up very well either. So I personally love e.l.f. moisturizers. The one that I go to quite consistently is the Holy Hydration Gel. I apply this before my makeup more often than not. I also really love the Grown Alchemist face cream. I'll have this below for you if you're interested in it. It's excellent for dry skin. It's a very rich cream, but it does not affect the wear time of makeup. It is one of those that I would highly recommend for mature skin because it is so hydrating. And I also apply an eye cream always, 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 because especially when we age, the skin under our eyes, right here on the edges, eyelids, all that just gets dried out. It's thin skin anyway, so I feel like it needs a lot more hydration. And so my go-to under eye moisturizer is the one from Hada Labo. I love this stuff. So I have already applied that around the perimeter of my eyes. And let's hop right on in. Applying an eyeshadow primer and a face primer. So for my eye primer today, I'm using one from Alter Ego Cosmetics. I also recommend Milani, Revlon, who else? There's a lot of excellent drugstore eyeshadow primers out there. Now, if you have a dry complexion, you're worried about hydration issues, then I would recommend a dewy primer. The one that I'm going to be using today is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is one that is great for dry skin. It does a beautiful job of not making everything look fully matte. But if you do want a more mattified appearance and you have oily skin, then I would highly recommend the Milani No Pore Zone. This does a beautiful job of blurring the pores, blurring fine lines, and does give a mattified look. For the eyes, you can go with cream eyeshadows. They are very forgiving for mature skin and cream-based products. One of my favorites from the drugstore are these from LA Girl. These are their Sun-Kissed Glow Long Wear Shadow Sticks. Very long wearing and they look great on the eyes. The other one that I would highly recommend to you, if you don't mind spending a little bit more, is from Laura Mercier, and their Caviar Stick eye colors are some of the best I've ever tried from the high-end side. But today, I'm going to be using powder eyeshadows to do something a little bit different than what I've done in the past. And you can wear more powder-based eyeshadows, and I would focus a lot on the finishes that you're using. So I feel like as we get older, glitter is one of those things, I mean, it's a hit and a miss. If you feel confident wearing it, I say go for it. But for the majority of the most part, most of us don't want to wear glitter as we get older. I mean, I'm even at that point now myself. I'll wear it very occasionally, but I tend to avoid it. What I do find that works really well for me and for more mature skin are eyeshadows that have a slight shimmer finish to them, and also eyeshadows that are matte. And it's really the placement that you want to focus on when you're doing your eyeshadow. I would highly recommend looking at the e.l.f. bite-sized palettes. These have never done me wrong. They are very high quality for the price that you're paying. They're $3 a piece. The ones I'll be using today are Cream and Sugar, and then I Like You a Latte. Based on my experience with having done makeup on those with more mature skin, one thing I've noticed is that as we get older, the skin up here can tend to droop down. Eye folds begin to appear and become more apparent, and so you don't really have as smooth a surface to work on as you did when you were younger. I mean, and that's okay. But there's a way that you can apply your eyeshadow to work around that. And so usually what I will do, I'll show you that here in a second. I'm going to start with this shade from the I Like You a Latte palette from e.l.f. If I can get the camera to focus, you can actually see it. There it is. This one right here that I use a lot. So what I do is I take a dry sponge and I'll use that to lift the eye gently to help pull up some of that excess skin and the loose folds. And then I will apply the eyeshadow into the crease. And this helps to work around the areas so you're not having to dodge the folded skin. It helps you to get into those areas a little more precisely. And then once you release the eye and the fold settles back into place, then you can take the eyeshadow that you have on the brush and begin to work it towards the brow bone. And when you also take time to apply the eyeshadow a little bit higher, it will help to create lift in the eyes, because with those folds of skin, it can make your eyes look droopier than what they are, but when you're applying the eyeshadow higher, it creates an optical illusion and gives a lifted look. The tips I'm sharing with you today are ones that I discovered when I did makeup for weddings, because I did a lot of mothers of the bride, and I've done my own mom's makeup several times, and these were things that I learned as I did them that did make the application look better. Now for the rest of the lid, what I'm going to do is take a more shimmery eyeshadow. So I'm taking this shade, and this is in the Cream and Sugar eyeshadow palette. It's a very light shade, and when you use shades like this on the lid, it gives some light. It adds brightness to the eye area, let's just put it that way. And I will usually apply a shade like this on the lid. And if you have hooded eyes, I would highly recommend applying an eyeshadow like this mixed in with a glitter glue, or you could even mix it in with your eyeshadow primer a little bit, or you could apply it wet. Any one of those methods will help to keep it in place, because I know that when you have hooded eyes, this can tend to transfer to the upper crease and then looks like a hot mess at the end of the day. But if you are applying it wet or with any of the methods that I mentioned, it will help to keep everything intact. This is optional, but if you want to add more lift and emphasis to your eyes, you can also take a deeper brown, like this one that I'm taking from the I Love You a Latte palette. Take it on a fluffy brush. The brush that I'm using here is from Crown. This is the C511. It's a tapered, fluffy brush. It's great for precise application, and you can apply that into the outer V and blend it up towards the outer crease. And that will help to create lift. And you don't need much. I mean, you can see with the very small amount that I added there, I got great definition, a lot of emphasis. It does make your eye right here pop forward. And it's a great trick to try and incorporate into your eye makeup. If you have full confidence with eyeliner, I say go for it. Pencil or liquid or gel, completely up to you. I personally, as I've gotten older, I've come to really enjoy using eyeshadow as eyeliner. And what I love about it is that it's forgiving. So if your eyesight isn't what it used to be, when you make a mistake with eyeshadow, it's not as apparent as it would be with, say, liquid eyeliner or gel, which can be like really telling when you do make a mistake. And so I'm taking this dark brown again from that e.l.f. palette, and I am lining the upper lash line with that. You know what really stinks is when we get older, all of our brow hairs start to go missing. Like, where did they go? I'm getting more hair on my legs and less on my brows. But one of my favorite products to use on those with mature skin are gels. My favorites are from e.l.f. This is their Wow Brow. This has a very pigmented consistency. It lasts all day, it does not move, and it also goes onto the areas of your brows where you don't have hair. Also really love the Revlon Color Stay Brow Fiber Filler. This is another great one that does go onto the skin very easily and fills in the brows beautifully. Before this video today, I am going to be using the Wow Brow, and I'll apply it on one brow so you can see the results that you get with it. I believe the shade that I'm using here is their light brown, or if they have an auburn, I'm not really sure. I don't think they have an auburn. But see what I mean? It goes onto the skin very easily. It's hard to detect, and it keeps everything in place. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and it fills them in effortlessly. With lashes, I feel like waterproof mascaras are some of the best to use so that you're not getting a lot of movement underneath the eyes. No flaking, no smudging, you know, that type of thing. Some of my favorites for waterproof mascaras are the Blvd. What is this one called? Volumn'Eyes, I believe it's called. $5 for this guy. It is one of the best I've used. Also, Revlon's Volumn'Eyes is another excellent one to apply to the lashes for no movement, no smudging, no flaking. The Lancome Monsieur Big is one of my favorite high-end waterproof mascaras that does amazing things for the lashes. A lot of volume with this one. I've also really been enjoying the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect Waterproof Formula. This is one that has been compared to the Benefit Roller Lash. Why are you not focusing? There you go. And it is very similar to that one. Of all the concealers that are out there, I feel like these two are some of the best that I've ever experienced for more mature skin. And those are the Revlon Colorstay Skin Awaken. This is a 5-in-1 concealer. It does last for a long time underneath the eyes. It will not crease, it will not fall apart on you, and it's great for dry skin. It's also great for more mature skin because it does not emphasize the fine lines and the things that we want to hide. The other one that I would highly recommend that you check out is from L'Oreal, and this is their True Match Eye Cream in a Concealer. This contains hyaluronic acid, and it's one of the most moisturizing concealers that I own. It does a beautiful job of minimizing the stuff under the eyes that we don't want to see, but it does a beautiful job of hydrating the skin. So that's the one that I'm going to be using today. The thing about this concealer is that it has a very runny consistency, and you can see it right there. You do not need much of it because it is so pigmented. And I actually find that with even the small amount that I take on my finger, I have to wipe off excess because it's just so runny. But it's great. I mean, it's a good thing that it's so runny. And there you can see the difference from this eye to this eye. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Love this stuff. You know what? Let's keep going with that. I'm not going to apply anything to this side of my face. You can see how the products perform on this side compared to this side. So for the rest of the face, when it comes to foundation, dewy finishes are very favorable. They look beautiful. I would recommend looking at the Wet n Wild Dewy foundation. It is a great affordable option, looks amazing on the skin. I would also highly recommend looking into this one. This is from the brand called Lumine. This is a beautiful tinted moisturizer foundation type thing that you can apply on the skin. It's very hydrating. It feels like moisturizer, similar to the eye cream I just used. Very radiant on the skin. It's one of my absolute favorites. And the one that I'm going to use today is from number 7. This is the Protect and Perfect Intense Advanced All-in-One Foundation. This has an SPF of 50 in it. The shade that I am using is Calico. And the way that I'm going to apply this is with a hydrating setting spray. I really love this one from Pacifica. This is the Vegan Collagen Hydrating Setting Mist. So what I'm going to do is spritz it on a sponge and use that to blend the foundation into the skin. And when you use a setting spray to blend your foundation into your skin, it adds extra hydration. It also helps to set, and it also helps to blur the makeup in favorable ways. Now you can see the application afterwards compared to this side, beautiful finish, and it will last all day. Now for powder, I would recommend looking to the number 7 Lift and Illuminate setting powder. That is a great one. I also would highly recommend the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder, which is the one that I will be using today. For those who want a powder option, because I know not everyone wears powder, and in the event that you don't wear powder but you're still looking for a way to keep everything intact, a setting spray is the way to go. And so I'm simply taking a little bit of that e.l.f. powder. What makes this powder so great is that it has light reflecting particles in it, so it's not that fully matte texture on the skin, and it provides radiance, and it doesn't emphasize the things that you want minimized. Contour and blush. I personally feel like cream options are some of the best for mature skin because, again, it will add to that radiant, youthful glow, and it won't add a cakey, dried out appearance to the skin. If you're looking for some cream options for contour to try, I would highly recommend the NYX Wonder Stick or Physicians Formula Sculpting Bronzer. Either one of these are fabulous options. Now I did do my makeup a little bit out of order here today. Oops. I applied the powder without thinking of applying the cream products, but traditionally what you should do is apply powder at the very end. I'm going to try to make this work, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and do this side so I can show you the application. NYX Wonder Stick on this side. I'm using the e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator brush to blend this in because it's such a densely packed brush. It does a great job of blending cream products into the skin. subtle. And that's why I love this one so much. For blush, cream blushes, again, very youthful, very radiant looking on the skin and pretty easy to apply for the most part. I would highly recommend the one that I'm going to be using. This is from LA Girl. This is their Soft Matte Cream Blush. It provides a beautiful color on the skin. It lasts all day. It's one of my absolute favorites. e.l.f. also makes their putty blushes, which are really good. Some people really love them, some people don't. So it's going to be up to you as to whether or not you like them, but I feel like that's another great option to try. Shade that I'm using here, by the way, is the one called Rosebud. Isn't that beautiful? Very easy to blend, very pigmented, so you don't need much. And the best part is these will not fade on you. You can see them at the end of the day as strongly as when you first applied them. And they're absolutely gorgeous. And then I can apply the powder. But you can see on this side how radiant that looks and youthful and not cakey. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I feel like if you don't apply makeup at all, I feel like just doing your face alone can give you a youthful appearance and rewind the clock 10 years at least with very, very simplistic products. And by the way, I did go back and add the cream products on this side over the powder, and it doesn't look bad. I mean, it worked better than I thought that it would. Usually you don't always get that, but today, good to see. Anyway, okay, for the lips, I feel like lip liner is a must. As we age, our lips get thinner, and so I feel very important to enunciate the lips. And so lip liner is a must do. My favorite lip liner of the moment is the one from Blvd. This is in the one called Barely There. There are so many amazing lip liners out there. I would also recommend looking into an anti-feathering lip liner just to have it on hand, because there are some lipsticks out there that can feather, and especially when we get those little tiny lines around our mouth. If you love a lipstick but it doesn't stay inside the lines, having an anti-feathering lip liner will help to eliminate the spreading. And a tip that I will reiterate that I've shared in a video past, if you want to find the perfect your lip color but better color, look to the inside of your lower lip. So if you pull down your lower lip, that is the color. That is my lip color but better. And so I know it's really funny. When you test lipsticks, you'll want to hold them up to that like this. And if you find one that looks very similar to that color, then that is your perfect lip color. And for me, it's Covergirl Honeyed Bloom. And I also feel like with more mature lips, it's important to focus on the finish of lipstick that you're using. A lot of times, those more mattifying, hang on, let me apply my lipstick. The mattifying lipsticks that will not budge, will not move, are the ones that tend to make your lips look older. It dries them out, it brings forth fine lines. And so I feel like lipsticks that have a creamy finish should be ones that you gravitate to as you age, because it will help to minimize the appearance of those fine lines and little things that we want to hide on our lips. And that's why I love that Covergirl lipstick so much too, is because it's not fully matte, but it still has some of that cream finish, and it's very silky and satiny on the lips too. It's very comfortable to wear. I don't really like the smell of it, but I'm willing to overlook it for how fabulous the color is and the finish. The other tips I will leave with you that I have noticed for myself that may resonate with some of you is to avoid applying anything on your lower lash line. That includes mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow, etc. I still do it from time to time, but I find for the most part when I leave this area completely blank, it helps to rewind the clock and it makes my under eye area look more youthful. So I wanted to share that. If you want to try it out, if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work, but just food for thought. If you're interested in any of the products featured here today, I'll have all of them listed and linked for you below in the description box. I hope that you found value in this and that it has helped you. If you have a tip that you've discovered in your own experience, feel free to share it below also, because there's always such a wealth of information in the comments that I know other people will find valuable. So thank you so much for your input, for your questions, for your comments. I truly appreciate you and your support. I speak love, light, peace, and joy into you and into your home. I'm wishing you a beautifully blessed day ahead, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.